I'm sitting. I'm ready to talk.
You're goddamn straight you are. Now, was that too much of a cuss to start us off with?
Too much of a cuss to
What?
start us off with. What
I don't know.
the fuck are you talking
Just your
about?
reaction. So, Comic-Con happening right now. Today's the last day for it, I believe. Yeah.
Makes
we're
sense. We're
recording
getting
this
all
on
the
Saturday.
hits tonight, so.
Yeah. So basically, it's just going to be nonstop, back-to-back comic movie news, and that's it this week. So strap yourselves
You
in.
don't get anything else.
Nothing.
Nothing. Good
So-
day.
Good day, sir. So first thing, we'll start off with the only bad news. George A. Romero did pass away this week. He is a film legend, the creator of Night of the Living Dead, as well as all of the other of the Deads, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Well, all of the other of the deads that are worth their salt, anyway.
Yeah. Well, not the Return series, yeah. Not Return of the Living Dead 1 through 4 or 5, however many there are. But yeah, all the good ones. I think all of it. I mean, he's played a huge part in just like pop culture in general.
There's
I
so
mean,
much we would not have without him.
Yeah, I mean, he basically created what we know of as zombies. I mean, all the rules of, you got to shoot them in the head to kill them. You get bit, you slowly die, and then turn into one. Before that, any movies that had zombies were like the more like voodoo. Like the movie White Zombie is an old zombie movie, and it has like the voodoo style. They get like the pufferfish stuff and they're buried and then they dig their way out of their coffins and they're like mindless slaves, but they're not hungry
They're
for
not-
flesh or
yeah.
anything like that.
They're not undead.
Yeah, likewise, the Return of the Living Dead series, which thankfully did not go on to be the one that established the rules for the genre, was that they're just totally unkillable. Like, even if you chop their head off, the head is still alive, and they talk. It's weird. But do you remember that? They're like,
I do, yeah.
send more cops. I mean, those movies are funny. I won't totally shit on those movies. I totally like a lot of stuff about them, but the rules of the road, as you say, about zombies.
Yeah, how often do we say goodbye to someone who created a genre?
Yeah, that's really. I mean, there's a lot that he didn't have a direct hand in that would not be, around without him. I mean, obviously, The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's the big one
Yeah.
for right now, but...
You could go on for days. 28 Days Later.
Well, and not
which is
just
a great
yeah.
film.
and not just in film. What about, things like Resident Evil?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Games. Nazi zombies mode in Call of Duty. Where would we be without that? Who he was in,
Really?
right? He was in
Really?
one of them, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was kind of terrifying, too, that voice.
Yeah, he's not, he was like the bad guy?
Yeah.
He wasn't one of the player
No, you
characters?
got, chased by him.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fucking cool.
It was really actually kind of scary.
I have actually had the pleasure of meeting George Romero.
Did you really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to, I can't remember the name of the con, but it was in Ohio. It was a horror film festival. I went there with Dishman in high school, and also known as Sig Neutron, if you're a fan of sci-fi's Face Off.
Yeah, we're dropping names.
Yeah, I know quasi-famous people. Not a big deal.
I sat next to Sig Neutron in geometry, whatever.
Yeah, well, I slept in the same bed as him because he didn't have an extra blanket when I went over for sleepovers.
Well, I slept in the same bed as him. He just doesn't know about it.
But no, we went to a horror festival in Ohio, and George A. Romero was one of the people there. I also got to meet the dude who did a lot of the special effects work for the Evil Dead series. And that was cool. We had a weird conversation about, he had like illustrations up for sale that were all H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah.
And we had a weird conversation about trying to draw H.P. Lovecraft things and how like weirdly difficult it is because, his writing is like half so incredibly precisely descriptive.
Yeah.
And then like, it'll be like the Gnarlethep was a pillar 12 meters in height, dissected into 6 segments, each with a 13-meter long tentacle, the top an indescribable nightmare. It's like, okay, how the fuck do you draw
Come
that?
on, what do you want me to do here? Not to mention, so many of his stories just involve running away from the horrors as opposed to...
But no, George A. Romero was there. It was really weird because, like, not a lot of people... He had, like, the shortest line out of all the celebrities there. There were people
Really?
that... Yeah, there were people that played, like, like an example of somebody who had a relatively long line was the dude who plays Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which you've never seen, I'm sure.
No.
But yeah, it's like not even Leatherface. It's totally not an iconic character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was there, and people were all about him. Although I think he's been in other things. I think that guy was also in what's the
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
no, well maybe, but no, like America's Devil's Rejects.
Oh, okay.
That movie. That God, I couldn't think of it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was like nobody gave a shit about George A. Romero, and all he had was like old copies of the novelization of Night of the Living Dead.
That was all like he had that he was like
Selling. Yeah, it was
Okay.
like, get a signed copy of the novelization of Night of the Living Dead. And I went there totally broke. I was in high school, like we barely had gas money to get there. We had to sleep in Brandon's van. So sadly, I didn't even get to purchase a copy of the novelization. But I totally did talk to him and was able to like hang out with him for like 25 minutes just talking to him because nobody else came up to his line or really cared. So.
Well, that's a simultaneously sad and amazing experience.
Yeah, but I think he had gained, because that was before some of the more recent, like Dawn of the Dead, like the remake. I think
Yeah.
that came out in 2007, so that would have been my senior year of high school.
Okay.
And then like Land of the Dead and all that shit came out afterwards.
Yeah,
So I think he
yeah.
kind of rose a little bit more in popularity after that. But yeah, man, rest in peace or not, carve your way out of that grave and spread that plague to the rest of the world.
You beautiful bastard, you.
So, aside from that, now we covered a little bit of D23, the Disney Expo, last week, but when we record this on Saturdays, sometimes there's some news we miss. So right after we finished recording was whenever the description for the first Infinity War trailer came online. So we can totally cover that now. Both of you guys have read the description or watched a video about it, I think, right?
Yeah, we
then I
read it all together.
Yeah.
Daydreamed about it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We were all right
Yeah.
here and we watched it as soon as we got off. So, based on what kind of things are described, at least, I mean, what do you think about it? How fucking much are you looking forward to this on a scale from like 9 to 10? Because I think those are the only two applicable numbers.
I remember when I found out, we were still living in Minnesota at the time, when I found out that Joss was going to be helming the Avengers movie and that the Avengers movie was happening.
Yeah.
I had just started to get into Marvel Comics. I was a very late bloomer when it came to that stuff. And I was like...
You were an early bloomer in other ways, though, so it's okay.
Wow. Oh,
Talking about your dick.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it.
Jesus.
It came out of nowhere. I'm also talking about my dick. I remember
God.
thinking that eventually they've got to do the Infinity War. And we've got to see all these guys on screen together and so many of them. But then in the back of my head, I was like, no, that's not the way that they do superhero movies. Like getting the Avengers all on screen together, like those 4 or 5 people is probably the best that it's going to get. But I was wrong. And I've never been more happy to be wrong. And all signs point to this being the culmination that I think we've all been waiting for. Like, the movies recently, especially with Civil War and Homecoming, a few of the earlier ones that came out after the Avengers, a little bit felt like, yep, we're getting there. I'm sure you enjoyed this movie, but we are getting there, huh?
Yeah.
And they've started to come into their own and feel more like their own movies that don't require you to be excited for what comes next. But now what comes next is literally coming next. So on a scale...
Well, no, there's still 2 more movies.
Well, I understand that, but there are 2 more movies that we have seen enough about to where Infinity War is what we're going to start getting tricklings of information about.
True.
Black Panther we're aware of. Ragnarok, we basically know everything about it at this point. So scale of 9 to 10, it's a 10.5 for me.
Nice, a 10.5,
It's a
breaking the
10.5.
scale. I don't know if that's possible mathematically, but
I am very punk rock. I kind of refuse to use your limitations.
are you excited for this movie at all, Christine? I know you're kind of back and forth sometimes on the Marvel movies as far as how pumped you get.
Yeah, I'm excited. Cause, yeah, Guardians is in it, right? Like,
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I mean,
the trailer-
Yeah, they're my fucking favorite.
the description of the trailer is that it opens
I
with
couldn't remember.
the Guardians
Yeah,
hitting
no,
Thor.
okay.
He's
That's all I need to hear.
he's floating
is
in space.
They're fucking in it, and I'm all about it. I want more of them.
Okay, so is that your main pull
Those are
with
my
the Marvel
mains.
movies?
Yeah.
Well-
Oh my god. Yeah. They're like, love them. They're the best.
James Gunn did do an incredible feat.
Yeah, that's probably the most impressive out of all of the movies that have come out so far. Is that one deserved to be the worst? I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, like, not that it deserved it. The Guardians are cool characters in the comics, but like, I don't know. If they had announced every movie that has like come out to this point back when the first Iron Man came out, you'd be like, oh yeah, all these movies sound great, and you'd be like, Ant-Man, huh? And then you'd be like, Guardians.
Oh man, we're gonna give that one to you, Ball, probably.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But no, they've definitely knocked it out of the fucking park, and all the actors and actresses. It's like adding a whole second Avengers because there's so
Yeah,
many
dude.
characters.
Yeah,
To the
absolutely.
Avengers.
Second better one.
I hope we get to see.
Space Avengers.
I mean, there's a ton of shit that I hope gets its time in this movie and the Avengers 4, which will presumably be tied to it. But I really hope we get to give Rocket just fucking tearing apart how primitive Tony Stark's tech is.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
No, I think it's super cool. There's some behind the scenes stuff that is leaked about it as well. There was a picture that was released of they're like going over the daily edits, right?
Yeah.
Where they have like some of the footage up on a monitor, like on the set, and a part of the footage is a screenshot of Spider-Man swinging along next to Doctor Strange, who is totally flying through the air, Doctor Strange style, and which I feel like he didn't really do in the Doctor Strange movie, right?
No.
Like he more levitated.
It was a
and hovered.
levitation,
Right.
That's-
It is the
that's
cloak
how-
of levitation, I
yeah.
guess.
It felt a little bit like Superman, one knee bent, kind of.
Yeah, which is cool, but in this, he's like flying. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Love it.
And there is dialogue at the bottom that's a line of Doctor Strange's that says, "Peter, protect them. They're not dead." Ooh.
What the fuck does that mean?
So I don't know if we'll see. I mean, I'm sure we will, but the portrayal of the stones and the gauntlet and the things that it can do, specifically like the time gem and the reality gem, are real. There's some really weird fucking shit they could do with that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And I wonder if like Doctor Strange can see through its effects a little bit. So I wonder if like somehow Thanos makes everybody think that he's killed some of the characters, but it's like actually just him altering reality.
And with
Doctor
Strange's-
Strange is like, no, they're alive. You stay with them and protect those dead bodies because they're not really dead bodies.
He can see through the illusion because of his training and his study.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that a lot.
And then there's
I do
also a set picture that's come out of it's like real blurry, but it shows this like rounded almost like a tunnel. It's like a green screen, but you can see the shape of it as like a tunnel, and Scarlet Witch is in it, and there's another character standing with his back turned that looks like Quicksilver from Age of Ultron.
Really?
Yeah, definitely a similar outfit. I mean, it's just like a gray skin tight shirt and some pants, was all he really wore.
Yeah.
But it's really blurry, but there's definitely some facial hair as well, and he had kind of like a light beard.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that some people are kind of picking apart that I think is a possibility that he could fuck with Scarlet Witch's mind. I think we're going to see a lot of Scarlet Witch and how
I
powerful she is.
really hope so.
I also really.
I don't
She's
think they
bad.
of course they don't realize it, perhaps Vision
Right.
might, but that she honestly is in their current arsenal the best weapon they have against Thanos. With
I would say
the outer
next to
limits
maybe
of her-
Doctor Strange.
Okay,
I
sure.
think that he
I
is-
keep
depending on where his power level is.
Yeah.
Like peak Wanda and peak Doctor Strange. I don't
You
know.
think they could go? Well, I mean,
could probably go
can
toe-to-toe.
Can Doctor Strange alter the actual reality of space and time?
to an extent, but also probably not as much as Wanda could.
I mean, she
But-
wiped
but
out
he has
the fucking
enough-
X gene.
Right, but he has enough like more useful spells and like a wider set of abilities that I think he could still like if they were fighting each other, I think there's a good chance he could still come out on top, even though she can,
Yeah.
possibly erase all of reality or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. If there aren't any cars around, she might not have very many.
But yeah, I think that it's a real possibility that maybe Thanos will resurrect Quicksilver using the time gem. That's a possibility. Maybe even use the mind gem to like send him against Wanda. Or to just create a reality in which she thinks that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. To where she has to fight Quicksilver to try to turn her to his side or something like that. So those possible spoilers there for those. I don't know. Who really knows with shit like this.
Do you think they're going to have the character of Death?
Yeah, I think so. I think some people on Reddit have had this discussion as well. I think that whatever version of Death we get may actually be introduced in Ragnarok.
Okay.
And some people are saying that Hela may be the MCU's version of the physical manifestation of Death.
Okay.
But
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think we will. Just because there's been so many. I guess not so many, but like there's been a few instances, specifically the whole like with the very first Thanos reveal at the end of Avengers, whenever it had the line, we mustn't return to Earth. To go there would be to court death.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Thanos smile. Like, I feel like they wouldn't bring that up if they didn't have any intention of paying off on that somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead, it would have been another line that was, yeah, let's go to Earth. They have the Infinity Stones. And Thanos could have been like, yeah.
Well, and it gives this big ultimate bad motivation beyond destruction of Earth.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know how they're going to make him a compelling villain without having that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Which is, he's not... He's trying to kill all of these millions of, billions and billions of life forms. Because, like, in the original comics, he wipes out, like, half of the universe with the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Before he stopped. But, he's spreading all this death and destruction just to try to appease, Lady Death herself, which is who he's in love with. The actual physical manifestation, for those that aren't familiar, of, like, the concept of death, like the Grim Reaper in the MCU is real, and it's a female, and Thanos... is completely smitten with her.
God, I fucking love comics.
Comics are fucking cool, man. They're really cool. What's your favorite part about comics? Is it like that it's a book with pictures?
That's my favorite part.
That's one of my favorite parts, too. I really like that the pages, you can stick silly putty on them and then peel it away, and it's like you have another copy of that comic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's backwards.
I like it when they're in the plastic. It feels nice.
In like little sleeves?
Yeah.
And
it's like, oh yeah, and you take it out, it's like ritualistic. It's like,
I hate trying to
look
put
at
them
this.
back into the sleeves. That's always like a hassle for me, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to leave it out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the type of person you are.
That is true. I'll have a stack of the sleeves empty and then the comic stacked on top.
Yeah.
Well, what
That
if you
is
want to
you.
read it
That
that
you.
day?
Yeah, that does describe me pretty well. We also had at D23 a behind-the-scenes video released for Star Wars The Last Jedi. What'd you guys think of everybody's talking about it? The porgs, the little puffin-looking things.
I'll take them over Ewoks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with having cute stuff in Star Wars. I just don't want it to be the focal point. Like, don't make it the plot device.
But the space fox.
Yeah, that's the one you're more pumped
The
about, right?
space
that
fox.
little crystal-looking white
Oh,
fox
he's
thing.
so cute.
Well, that was one of the coolest things for me when I was a kid. Is I was like, look at all this fucked up flora and fauna.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was great, but like, I just throwing rocks at an ATST like.
Well, I'm sure. I don't think the porgs look that intelligent. I
Well,
don't know,
no, I
but-
know. I'm just saying, as a general rule, the porgs are fine. It's just there's a line, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff looks fucking great. Some comments that I'd seen was a surprisingly large number of people not understanding that it was behind the scenes or not understanding how special effects work and complaining that the lightsabers weren't real lightsabers and like why aren't they using real lightsabers or why do the lightsabers look like shit in this one? I was like, come on, man, that's not a real thing. Like they don't.
This is what you read.
Do you not know
comments
how a
for.
movie works?
This is the kind of shit that makes me hate the community, you know?
Just the internet at large.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, it seems to be more prevalent in nerd internet
Yeah.
that there will be something that people find wrong and throw away the rest of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I'm super excited for the movie. I kind of made like after that behind the scenes trailer came out, I was looking online for some stuff to do for the podcast. like some other fan theories and things like that we do with some of the other movies. And then I kind of had to make a rule for myself that I like Star Wars so much that I'm not really going to be any real spoiler stuff is not going to be covered on this podcast, unfortunately, for those that are looking forward to it, because I don't want to spoil myself on it. I had already seen some things that were potential spoilers, and I was like, damn it, I wish I hadn't seen that.
It is different with Star Wars. I remember when the Han Solo death got spoiled for me on Facebook 2 days before I was going to go see it. Mm-hmm. And I saw it night of. Like, it was just early screenings that were the only thing, and then people were just throwing those screenshots into random Facebook threads. And, like, it just...
I put that block on.
It upset me
There
at
was
a
a Star Wars
deep
block,
level.
and I was like, nope.
Yeah. The like Chrome extension or whatever
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, no.
Yeah, I don't want the main movies. Like, I'll totally look up spoilers for like the Han Solo movie. That's fine. I don't really give a shit. I mean, I'm excited for the movie. You know, not to say I don't give a shit about it, but
But it's not that deep.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to know. I want to know what happens to Luke, but I don't want to know until I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because already some of the stuff that happened in The Force Awakens, that was like a huge... I teared up at several times and
You
flat out
cried.
cried once. Like,
No, you cried throughout the entire movie. Don't even fucking lie.
You did not stop crying.
The opening crawl came on, and you were crying through the rest of the damn movie.
I was teary-eyed. Okay?
He was crying.
It's not crying.
He
that's
was
different.
crying.
It was emotional.
You were
It was very
crying.
emotional. Whatever. In other news, during some Comic-Con interviews and stuff, Mark Ruffalo, or I think this was maybe during D23, I don't know, I can't keep them straight back to back like that. It's pretty crazy. Mark Ruffalo.
It was Good Morning America.
No, that was his whole, like, when he maybe spoiled the movie
okay.
and maybe,
Oh,
maybe that
yeah.
was a joke. No,
That
this
was
is
really
different.
funny.
He was asked about the future of a solo Hulk movie, and he flat out said that no, it's not ever going to happen because Universal doesn't want to make money and won't play ball.
Universal doesn't want to make money. Calling it okay.
So I basically Universal has the rights to, because the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk movie, which is still a part of the MCU's continuity, wasn't done by Marvel Studios.
God,
done
that
by
movie was
Universal.
fucking garbage.
I don't know if it was.
It was fucking garbage.
No, the U-Ball one was garbage.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've seen a couple of them, and they're fucking garbage.
Well, there you go.
So I said,
I just
thank
like
God,
Ed Norton,
no
so I want to come
fucking-
to his defense, I think.
But whatever. There's not going to be any more solo Hulk movies, even with Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk.
I mean, I like Mark Ruffalo. I do not want to see another fucking...
You wouldn't even want to go see
No.
a possible Hulk movie? Why not? What's your...
The ones that I've seen are so bad.
Right, but again, Marvel actually making it this time, who you know makes pretty good movies. You wouldn't even be willing to give that a chance at all?
I wouldn't want to. I would, I guess.
I wouldn't want to.
I don't want to at all, but I
Yeah.
guess I would.
I mean, in all fairness, I don't think we ever need one. I think
No.
that he's more interesting with other characters around him. There's not much. Not to say there's not a lot of depth to the character, but I feel like there's not a lot you can do by himself. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be conflict, Hulk smash. Peace,
Yes, I
conflict,
mean, it's
Hulk
going to be,
smash.
oh, I don't want to be the Hulk. Oh, no, I have to be the Hulk. I can never control it. Now I can control it.
Well, what
Like,
I was...
that's
yeah.
over and over, forever,
yeah.
is you know, the plot of the Hulk always. But when he's with other characters, it's more interesting to see his dynamic with other characters. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, whatever. I don't think that's that big of a loss. But yeah, I did like that comment. Like you had said, like fucking straight up calling him out.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they don't want to make any money because they're fucking dicks.
Mark Ruffalo likes being Bruce Banner.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo likes being a little sass mouth.
He's a little sassy face.
He gets a little sassy. He says whatever the fuck he wants. No, there is also a leak trailer that has now been taken down for Marvel's The Runaways, which is a Hulu original series, the first thing that they're doing with Hulu instead of Netflix. I really like the comic The Runaways. The trailer looks a little CW if that makes sense.
I would assume.
But again, that is kind of the point of the characters. It's a bunch of teenagers that discover their parents are all supervillains and they have superpowers.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember you
that in
telling me about
itself
those.
isn't inherently bad.
Yeah, so I mean, but like, it's gonna be a lot of teenage angsty drama, people having crushes on people and stuff like that comes along with it. You know what I mean? That's part of the territory, and I'm okay with that.
With a whole lot of squirrel-based antics, I certainly hope.
No, that's a different franchise.
Oh,
No
excuse,
squirrel-
that's New
no
Warriors.
Squirrel Girl
Yeah. Sorry.
In the Runaways.
Hey, we're at a point where we're getting so many new Marvel properties that I'm starting to get them mixed up, and that's a good problem to have.
the Runaways
Yeah.
has Old Lace.
Yes!
Two of the characters, Arsenic and Old Lace. It's a girl that has a psychic connection with a velociraptor.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
Old Lace is the velociraptor.
Ugh.
And
I'll
wonder-
watch it.
The trailer just shows like looking out of a window and a velociraptor claw like scratches at the window.
Yeah.
So like definitely Old Lace is going to be in it, but the explanation for the existence of Old Lace is that it is a real velociraptor from the prehistoric era that someone has brought to the modern day via time travel. So I wonder if we're going to get that like as the explanation.
I really hope so.
Or
Things
if
have
it'll be
gotten
more of
more
like
and
a
more
Jurassic
ridiculous.
Park kind of thing.
I guess that would be easier to explain away.
Right. But yeah, it's fucking, I mean, that seems so cool to me. I don't know. That kind of leaves me speechless to an extent, but like, who would not want a fucking velociraptor that understands your thoughts and you understand it so that you can command around to, you know, velocirapt your enemies to death?
Dude, I would give like all of the money
Yeah.
in the entire world.
If we don't get a single clever girl, I'm going to freak out, though.
Oh, yeah. That should be a reference. It's not the velociraptor that you see. It's the girl from the side who's psychically controlling the velociraptor that gets you.
I certainly hope you don't find yourself in any kitchens.
Now, what you were talking about, Squirrel Girl, that is the New Warriors, which is a series. I can't remember what service it's coming to, but it's not Hulu or Netflix. It's something else.
Which is maybe, and it's not a network show? That's bad news.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's a little
Amazon?
iffy. No, it's not. I can't
That's
remember it.
really
Was it
bad
Fox?
news.
No, it's not one I've heard of. Otherwise, I would list it.
Well, that's fair.
It's like a streaming thing, I guess. And it's also where Cloak and Dagger is going to premiere, which is another Marvel property.
Okay.
But I still have high hopes for it just because they did say that Squirrel Girl and Mr. Immortal would be the two characters leading this version of the New Warriors. And both of those characters are fucking baller. Squirrel Girl,
I feel like I've heard you talk about Squirrel Girl more than most characters.
I bring her up a lot
Yeah,
when
it
I'm
is you.
around.
it's
Yeah.
him more. I'll bring up Mr. Immortal a lot.
I didn't know Squirrel Girl existed until like maybe a couple years ago, and I became fascinated by the mere existence of Squirrel Girl.
Her defining moment is single-handedly saving everyone from Doctor Doom by like no one else can defeat him, and she does with her army of squirrels.
Oh,
Doesn't
She-
it happen like off panel
what?
or something?
No, she just sends an army of squirrels up into like his engines, and it like clogs up his engines and shuts down his whole fucking ship, and it crashes, and like they swarm him and overwhelm him. But yeah, it's a girl who she has a tail, and she has like squirrel teeth,
Oh.
and she's like acrobatic, right, like a squirrel.
Oh.
But she can also like communicate with and control actual squirrels. That's Squirrel Girl.
If you didn't assume.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what I assumed, but oh, how cute.
She's cool. She's not my favorite. Like, I think that she has a comic that's more recent that has been really, really good. That like where it kind of makes her more than just a joke. But for a long time, she was just a joke. You know what I mean? So like her popularity is now deserved, but for a long time wasn't strictly deserved. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
But
Yeah.
Mr. Immortal, on the other hand, leader of the Great Lakes Avengers, he is fucking rad as hell. His power, do you know what it is, Christina?
He's immortal.
He is immortal.
Wow, I'm so smart.
But you know what he's not?
Immortal?
No, he is immortal.
Oh, okay.
But he's not invulnerable.
Well, that makes sense.
So like,
Kind of, I guess.
so like,
Go ahead and hit her with it, man.
Yeah,
So-
tell me.
So imagine there's like you're the Great Lakes Avengers, okay, who are a bunch of characters that have really shit powers,
Okay.
and
No,
there's-
I think you've told me about
and there's
the
a
Great
bank
Lake
robbery,
Avengers.
right? There's a bank robbery that you want to thwart, and there's people inside
Okay.
with guns,
I got it.
and so you think, well, Mr. Immortal can't die, so we'll send him in there to let us know how many people are in there, how many guns they have, so we can come up with a good plan of attack. Mr. Immortal strolls in there, and he gets shot with like 100 rounds, and he feels every single one of them, as
Oh.
you would if 3 people with machine guns opened up into your body. And he falls on the ground and like loses consciousness, and it's really horrible. He just barely doesn't die because he is immortal. But he does have to go to the hospital, and he does have to spend a really long time recovering because he doesn't have any heightened sense of like regeneration or anything like that. Like, it's like the shittiest fucking
what
power
a fucking
ever.
shit power.
Exactly.
It's a
Yee.
beautiful thing.
Yee.
And so this leads him to like never ever really doing anything heroic at all. Because
Aw.
he's like, no, I don't want to do that.
No,
That would
it's gonna
fucking suck.
hurt a lot.
That's going to be a really bad thing. I don't know if it'll be in the New Warriors. He is also a lot of times accompanied by a demon who basically explains that the reason he's Mr. Immortal is because he's destined to be the last man alive on Earth at like the end of days. And the demon thinks, man, that's a really shitty thing to be destined for. I'm going to help you out. Any person you ever care about or love, I'm going to go ahead and kill for you. That way you don't...
Yee.
That way you learn not to form any real attachments or anything like that, because you're going to be alone on Earth forever at some point in the distant future, and that's really going to suck.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
So he's like the most fucking unfortunate character in the Marvel Comics universe.
Like, he's gotta be so sad all the time.
I'm pretty sure that, yes, absolutely. He suffers from a lot of depression.
Oh,
So-
poor guy.
I'm excited to see a small screen version of him.
Do you think it's gonna be funny?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Like
that's
a-
the only way you can take it. There's no way they could try to do it seriously.
Okay.
Like, even the Squirrel Girl good comic isn't good because it's like
Serious, like
super action-packed,
grimdark
serious. Yeah, no,
bullshit.
it's like a lighthearted, like more of it is about like being a teenage girl with
Gotcha.
kind of useless powers, hanging out with people that have slightly more useful powers, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's got to be pretty goofy. Do you think they could do a serious take on Squirrel Girl?
No. A serious take on Squirrel Girl?
I'll check a look.
It even rhymes.
Now, we also had confirmation, and I am so pumped for this, that DCEU is making a fucking Nightwing movie. A full-on Nightwing movie. It's actually happening, guys.
And not only that, because that news by itself could mean many things. Mm-hmm. But we know that it's coming from a person who seems to clearly and concisely understand the motivation and setting that
Yes.
Nightwing is supposed to emulate.
Yep, after announcing it, the director put out a little tweet storm on Twitter in which he went on a mini rant about the character himself and explained everything that was important about Nightwing. And it's just perfect. I mean, I think at this point, we know that when creators enjoy and understand the properties that they're making movies based on, we always get better movies as a result.
Yeah.
Right?
The product
I
is
totally
always
agree with
superior.
that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no doubting that now. And his tweet included things like talking about how, Dick Grayson becoming Nightwing isn't something, his backstory isn't something that they can just put in a quick flashback, because as readers, we got to watch Dick Grayson go from Robin to Nightwing in real time. You know, he was kind of a joke as Robin. He grew up, more serious things happened. A rift between him and Batman happened. He left, he came back as Nightwing, like over the course of 20 years of comics history.
Yeah.
So that alone is perfect. That, like, assumingly, the movie's not going to start with, who am I? I used to be Robin. And then I was like, fuck that. Now I'm Nightwing. And then, like, boom, Nightwing. And the movie just starts. You know what I mean? Like, how they could very easily,
No.
like, hey, I,
don't
know
think
you
they'll
don't
do
know
that.
who
I
this
mean,
guy
they
is,
might.
but
But
well, in worse hands, they would. They would just be like, Why do you care about this character? Because he's Robin. I know you don't know who Nightwing is, but you know who Robin is, right? He used to be Robin. Now he's Nightwing. Enjoy the Nightwing movie. Like, and not really
That's
address
fair.
why he
Who's
chose to
doing
become
it?
Robin. I can't think of the name, his name off the top of my head. He directed the Lego Batman movie,
Okay.
and he's also done a lot of episodes of Robot Chicken and some animated stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so like both of those things, what's cool about them is that they pay a lot of homage to the things that they're spoofing. Like,
Yeah,
this is
for
his
sure.
first live action thing. He's never done live action before, so we'll see how that goes. But like, I think it's really cool that he clearly understands the source material to such an extent, and I'm just really passionate about the character. So
This is one thing I didn't honestly think we'd ever get.
a Nightwing movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we even said so on like maybe one of the first podcasts that we did, where they were talking about the 4 Batman related movies in
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah.
We all discussed that by far the least likely of those was Nightwing.
Yeah.
But nope. And we're also going to get 2 takes on the character. The Teen Titans, or now just called Titans television series, started filming this week as well. And
Oh.
that's also going to include a different version of Nightwing. So they have 2 chances to make me happy with at least one good representation of Nightwing. I'm super pumped about that. The director also said that he's looking for someone that can handle and basically he wants to find an actor that he can put through absolute shit. Like, he wants to beat the fuck out of this actor, which is a cool thing about Nightwing, that like Batman, trains Robin, but never pushes him as hard as he was pushed. Like, obviously Batman was trained by like crazy killer ninjas,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so like interesting things that can happen with Nightwing, like if somebody captures Batman and they're like, tell us how to get into the Batcave because we're going to torture you until you tell us. That like, well, he's not going to fucking tell him. Like, Batman's not
Right.
Batman's not even going to react to whatever horrible tortures you can put him through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could fucking electrocute him, shove bamboo
like,
shoots up his fingernails.
Bruh, I've seen worse.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, bring it on the whole time. Whereas Nightwing is much more like
Susceptible to that kind of torture.
yeah, I mean, and not torture specifically, just any sort of trying situation he can be put through. There's a lot more room for emotion there because there's a much more real possibility of failure on some level that you never get with someone like Batman,
Gotcha.
who's infallible. Like, that is his superpower, is that he never fucking loses, right?
And especially at the beginning of his taking up of the mantle of Nightwing, he's a lot more hot-headed than we're used to seeing in a superhero.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. He still doesn't kill anybody, but like he's very angry about stuff that's been going on between him and Batman, and I hope you get all those issues. I mean, all the resentment that he has against Bruce Wayne, and because he kind of realizes like, holy shit, this guy is fucked up. And like,
shit.
my parents got killed by criminals too, but I refuse to ever become as crazy as this guy, who is kind of my dad, and I like him, I love him, but I fucking hate him too, and he's a fucking psychopath, and he really needs to stop taking little kids off the street and teaching him to beat people half to death.
Yeah, because that is, I mean, as much as I love Batman, that's fucked.
But yeah, anything with more of the Bat family, I'm super pumped for. Maybe we'll eventually get Ace the Bat Dog.
Ace the Bat Dog.
And what about Batmite? What do you know about Batmite, Spencer?
God damn it. Well, I don't know anything about Batmite.
Batmite is like, what's the Great Gazoo from Flintstones?
Yes.
Imagine if the Great Gazoo instead followed around Batman and dressed in an ill-fitting bat costume. It's pretty much that.
Was someone talking about me?
It's the same race of character as Superman's Mr. Mxyzptlk. Yeah, and it wants to be a bat hero. It follows him around. It alters reality for hilarious shenanigans.
I don't know. Part of me thinks that sounds cute, but I'll move past it.
I think it sounds cute.
You'd be totally down with the Batmite movie?
I probably wouldn't watch it, but it's cute. It
The
sounds
Lego
cute.
Batmite movie. Okay.
There you go, yeah. That's a little bit more believable. What if there is a Batmite movie and he, like, halfway through a live-action movie, one of the little hijinks he does is to turn it into a Lego movie, like everybody is suddenly made out of Lego. I don't know. Possibility. We're also getting a live-action...
We can write movies, guys.
Yeah, let us do it. I got ideas. We're starting with Batmite. Who knows where we go from there. So we also got news this week that a live-action adaptation of Robotech is happening. But before we recorded, you said you'd never seen Robotech, right, Christina?
No, I have not.
And Spencer, you're barely familiar with it?
I definitely caught some episodes, but I was young enough to where I wasn't following it, and I didn't quite understand. I know there are aliens, jets that turn into robots that are made of alien technology, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Yeah. I'm surprised you remember, like, even that aspect, that the Robotechs, that the Veritech fighters and stuff are a result of the alien technology, just because that was, like, not... It's a hard-to-follow series.
Really?
Yeah, because the original Robotech series is an American cartoon show that was made from footage of 3 different anime in Japan.
Which is a fucking crazy idea for anyone to have to begin with.
It was the first relatively successful anime ever to come to the States, aside from, like, Speed Racer.
Sure.
It was in, like, the mid-'80s when it came out. And the series that it comes from is the biggest one is Macross Saga. That's where the the Veritech fighters come from. Steven? Sorry, guys. My cat is crawling across all of the microphones right now. Come here.
Come here, buddy.
But yeah, Macross Saga and something Super Fortress 3, which is where, if you remember, they all live on a big giant spaceship.
Oh yeah.
And so the scenes of that, and there's like a pop star who's one of the main characters.
Oh man, You Unzip Me is coming back now.
Yeah. She's like the whole love triangle and stuff. That's from Super Fortress, and then there was another one, which is what the aliens are from. And the later seasons of Robotech are from, because they go back to Earth and they have, like, motorcycles that transform into jet motorcycles or something like that.
Man, I gotta watch Robotech.
Yeah, well, really, Macross Saga. Macross Saga is a really good anime. That's also totally worth watching.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm super excited for it. Like, I'm worried that maybe the Transformers franchise has ruined giant robots for a little bit, but we need some better takes on some high quality mecha. And if we're not going to get, like, a Western-made live-action Gundam adaptation, then I think that Robotech is the second best possibility. So I'm definitely excited to, find out a little bit more about that as it moves forward in production.
Absolutely.
DC announced the Shazam movie is in development, and it's not going to star The Rock as Black Adam.
How are you gonna throw that dude under the bus?
Yeah, that is some fucking bullshit. I am, like, personally offended by this news. Because he has been keeping... It would be like if Fox was like, yep, the Gambit movie is happening, but no, Channing Tatum is not going to play Gambit.
No, it would be like if Fox was like, yeah, the Deadpool movie's happening, but Ryan Reynolds isn't going to be a part of it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. That's what I thought of.
He's been keeping the dream alive for a fucking Shazam movie, because he wants to play the role of Black Adam so much, Shazam's main antagonist, and to announce that it is now finally happening after all these years and that he is not going to have any involvement is really, really shitty, in my opinion. Partially because I think he's a pretty fucking good actor, and I think he could kill the role of Black Adam.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he expressed a lot of understanding for the character, that he can be done as a very sympathetic antagonist. He's like, Black Adam was like a slave to like a magical race. And like his people were slaves, and he like mastered their magic in order to turn it against them to free his people and shit. Mm-hmm. And then wanted to also take control of Earth.
And as a side note,
yeah, and other stuff. But I mean, like, it's a really compelling character. And for a while, the talk was to do a Black Adam movie, and not even sort of an anti-hero, not even do Shazam, which, like, Shazam's...
Or at least not straight away is the last that I had read about that.
Yeah, Shazam's kind of a really fucking dumb character. Like, Shazam is a 10-year-old boy that shouts the phrase Shazam and then gets struck by lightning and turns into this fully grown man superhero Shazam.
That makes sense.
I've got a really stupid question for you.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I always got Shazam and the Greatest American Hero mixed up. Are they the same person or not?
Well, I don't know what the greatest American... G.I. Joe is the greatest American hero, isn't
All
it?
right, well, I guess move past
I don't know what you're talking about.
Flying away on a wing and a prayer.
Are you talking about Captain Marvel?
No.
Because Shazam is sometimes referred to as, his name was Captain Marvel, even though he was a DC character, and then Marvel made a character called Captain Marvel, so he started getting referred to as Shazam more and more often.
Seems overly common, but no, I guess we can just move past it.
Well, I mean, Shazam is from, like, the early days of comics, you know what I mean? Like, that idea wouldn't fly today of a 10-year-old transforming boy. But he's had cool moments. I mean, he's not a totally dumb character. Specifically, there's the Kingdom Come comic has a really dope moment where Shazam is just fucking brutally beating... He gets mind controlled, and he's brutally beating the dog shit out of Superman.
Whoa.
Because he's magic, and Superman's weak against magic, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, he's just basically... You know the scene in Dragon Ball Z where... Tien has this big comeback moment against Cell.
Yeah.
Where he's using his attack to just keep Cell pinned down, even though Cell's way more powerful than him.
Yes.
It's like that. Shazam just keeps saying Shazam, calling down the lightning, because every time it hits Superman, it's pinning him down into the ground.
Oh, that's dope as fuck, actually.
Yeah, so it's like the weak against the mighty, you know, due to this one little catch or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Superman, like, slowly gets over to him, and Shazam one last time goes, shut, and Superman fucking grabs his mouth and holds his mouth shut.
Oh, shit.
And he's just like, no more, and fucking, I'm pretty sure kills him. I don't know.
Probably.
But it is an evil Superman story, so that happens.
So yeah, probably killed.
Now, we're also getting a fucking Mega Man movie.
Why?
Why indeed? From the directors of Catfish, the documentary about catfishing.
And Paranormal Activity 3 and 4. You keep forgetting to mention that
Because
when we were talking about it before, but that's important to note.
The catfishing
because
documentary is...
But
What?
that adds to the absurdities that they didn't even have a hand in the first two shitty Paranormal Activity movies that came in for 3 and 4. Like there is so much that could go wrong, and all of it is going to.
It already is wrong.
I made the
It's
joke
already gone
before we
wrong.
were recording that they're not even going to make him blue.
Yeah, it's going to be the green and yellow Mega Man from the cover of the first Mega Man
Yeah,
box art.
when he's got the gun in hand.
I mean, look, if this isn't like a DreamWorks or Pixar CGI animated movie, there's no hope of it being even remotely intelligible or good.
No, not at all.
It's gonna be bad.
That's a universe that can only exist in a fantastical art style.
Yeah, dude, I feel like you could do a beautifully done CG version of it. You know, like how Mega Man would have been depicted if he was in Wreck-It Ralph, right?
Yeah.
You do it like that, you can make a great fucking kids Mega Man movie that also I would go and see because I like Mega Man.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's gonna be some dumbass live action. He's gonna be a human, you know, who like dies, and like Dr. Light's his dad and rebuilds him with a robot body, and like, God damn it, it's gonna be so fucking horrible.
I know, man. It just eats you up. Mighty Number 9 sucked, and now this.
Just let it. I love the franchise. Just let it die, dude. Let that fan-made Mega Man maker be the last Mega Man game.
Let it be the nail in the coffin, and we can all move on as adults.
There was also a little teaser trailer for Pacific Rim 2 at Comic-Con.
Speaking of good representations of mecha.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I should have thought about that earlier.
Pacific Rim is the shit.
Pacific Rim is dope, but I didn't know about a second one.
Thought it kind of was tightly wrapped up.
No, not even that. I just like for what it was trying to do. Basically, how are they gonna top like pulling the sword out, like when he finally uses the chain sword at the end? That's kind of all it boils down to me. Like that, like
Two chain swords.
Yeah,
I know. It was a
I
joke.
mean, yeah, but exactly like because it followed the trope so well. You know what I mean? Of like why didn't he just use that from the beginning? He probably should have. It would have made the movie a lot easier, and everything would have been done a lot earlier. But like again, that's a tropey thing. Like I'm saving the final attack until my most desperate hour,
Or
and,
this isn't even my final form.
yeah. So I don't know. Just now that they've done that, I don't know if another one's needed. Like I want to see it, but now that we know it's not going to be like was rumored for a little bit, that it might actually cross over with the Godzilla movies, which would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Breathe
even,
some life into it.
Yeah, I just don't know why And all the little teaser trailer does is just shows the new Jaegers, which is cool. They look dope, but they haven't shown me any reason to see the movie.
I'll give you that.
You know?
Yeah.
That's fair.
It does star John Boyega. He's cool. So
Yeah.
that's a plus. But I don't know. We also, God, the most confusing news that was announced at Comic-Con is that Fox is making a Doctor Doom movie. Now, let me clarify. Doctor Doom is my favorite villain of all time. Fox also made X-Men 3, X-Men United. I don't know how to...
You can't reconcile that in your brain?
No. They've had every chance to use Doctor Doom, and they have multiple times, except that they haven't because they've fucking ruined him, and they've just turned him into a fifth member of the Fantastic Four who turns evil. That's always been his backstory in their movies. And presumably if they do a solo Doctor Doom movie,
He just is going to be Reed Richards.
well, no, I think that they're going to maybe actually address his real backstory this time. His backstory is that his mother's soul gets sold to Satan. I think Mephisto is like Satan in the Marvel Comics universe. Mm-hmm. And she's a gypsy, and he's a gypsy from Latveria. And he, decides, hey, I'm going to go to hell and save her. And he does that by becoming a master of sorcery. And then comes to America and finds out that in America, nobody really believes in sorcery. Instead, they believe in science. And he's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and master that too then. And does that. And goes to New York, Technical Institute or whatever, where Reed Richards is also a student. And becomes like a friendly rival of Reed Richards. Then takes his mastery of technology and sorcery back to Latveria to free it from the evil tyrannical ruler that controls it, and then he becomes the new tyrannical ruler. But his people typically are depicted as totally living in absolute utopia. Like, everybody has everything, nobody complains, everybody loves Doctor Doom in Latveria. And he's like a successful tyrant.
Well, that's because the punishment for any crime is incredibly swift and crushing, right?
Yeah, basically all crime is punishable by death.
Okay, gotcha.
That's instantly. Because he has an army of surveillance doombots that patrol the skies, and as soon as you commit a crime, it's picked up and you are killed on the spot. So, obviously, morally, that's wrong. We don't need to argue corporal punishment and fucking the death penalty or anything like that.
Sure, but as a thought experiment.
Exactly. It's a super, super complex, interesting character because, a lot of times, his methods are clearly evil, but it is hard, even for the Marvel heroes, to argue with his results, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he has the genuine best interests of mankind and the planet Earth at mind. If an alien race comes and is invading Earth, he's going to be one of the first ones to be like, well, I'm going to fucking stop him. And I'm going to do that with my army of Doombots. But it just...
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do any of the right things. They've proven... You said it yourself. They have so many chances. They've proven incapable.
The other good thing is the dude who's doing it is the guy who did Legion, the TV series.
And Legion is fucking really good, which is my
Legion's
amazingly for
maybe
it'll be good.
Yeah. And then Fox also, the most recent Fox films are... Logan and Deadpool and also X-Men fucking Apocalypse. So I don't know, man. It is very confusing. I've wanted this forever, but I want Doom in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think they can make one good movie, but I don't know where you go from there, right? Because by the end of that movie, he's done the anti-hero stuff and he has to be firmly established as he is a villain. And then what interest is there?
Sure.
If it's not him fighting the Fantastic Four.
No, narratively, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. I'm tentatively excited, though. As far as anti-heroes go, Todd McFarlane is finally getting a shot at doing his own Spawn movie.
Which fucking good for him.
Yeah. Spawn. What do you think of Spawn? Have you seen the movie?
No.
You've never seen the movie Spawn?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Are you familiar with the character?
I just said I don't know anything about it, so no.
Do you even know what he looks like?
No.
Really? That's what
I think she would.
Yeah, black and white. He has his skin is all black, and he has a white little design on his face with glowing eyes and a big giant red cape that is like massively huge and always like filling up the screen or the panel of anything he's in.
I was made
That
aware
does
of
sound
him.
kind
He's
of
like
familiar.
super edgelord.
I was gonna say I was made aware of him by my
Yeah.
edgelord cousin when I was
Yeah.
like in elementary school.
That does sound kind of familiar.
A lot of people shit on the Spawn movie. I think that it honestly was not that bad. Like,
Well, John Leguizamo does a lot of things for a lot of movies.
yeah, and like
Sorry,
I love John Leguizamo.
Me
He's
too.
really good. He's
No,
really good as
I
the
was-
Violator. His little speech when he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Well, I can tell you, I'm not the penetrator. I'm not the annihilator. I'm the violator," and like is turning into his fucking form.
yeah.
I think that movie was way ahead of its time, to an extent, because comic book movies weren't really a thing then, and it was definitely the first movie for a very long time that was willing to try to do like an adult, a more grown up take
Yeah.
on a comic book franchise.
Well, that origin story is brutal.
Yeah, his origin story is that his family gets assassinated and he gets killed as part of the process and sells his soul to Satan for a set of like abilities that will allow him to avenge them, and goes and avenges them, but then becomes like a fallen angel and actually starts fighting back against the servants of Satan and hell
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like
That is
it's
super edgelord.
it is very edgelord, but there's a lot of cool visualizations that come. Like a good Spawn movie could be pretty fucking dope.
All right.
And like one thing that original movie did well was again the cape. Like you totally,
Yeah.
the CGI was limited because of when it came out, but you totally had the sense that cape was like alive and
Yep.
and overwhelming as it should be. So I don't know. I'm excited for Todd McFarlane to have more say in it because he had really no control over that movie. Mm-hmm. And it's his baby. I mean, obviously, Steve Spawn's been around for like what 30 fucking years now.
For yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's one of the it's another one of those properties that I don't remember living a life without being aware of it.
yeah, and it's Image Comics does it, and it keeps Image Comics alive. Like
Yeah.
if there was no Spawn comics, there would be no Image Comics. So I think it could end up being a good movie. We also have some rumors that Ben Affleck might be leaving the role of Batman, which I think fucking sucks, right?
Yeah, I really love him as Batman.
Yeah, maybe this is a hot take, but I think he was the best part of Batman versus Superman, aside from when Wonder Woman comes in at the very end.
I'll tell you that
I
right
could
now.
agree with that.
I think he is
I'm
the
gonna
best.
jump on that hot take.
Yeah, I think he's the best Bruce Wayne and the best Batman that we've ever had on screen, like without a doubt.
Yeah, and
a
I
lot
was
of people,
excited to see that character be developed.
Yeah, a lot of people think that Christian Bale is the best one. No, Christian Bale is a fucking shit Batman.
A lot of people are fucking wrong.
Yes,
I mean,
they are.
I liked American Psycho as much as the next guy, but let's move past it.
I think he just cares about the character a whole lot, which makes him better at the character.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
he
he's
seems to give a shit about it, so.
yeah. I don't know what
It
people.
seems like he takes it seriously.
Yeah,
I can't think
yeah.
of another actor who's played Batman who actually seems like they attempted to think about the subtleties of the character and the backstory of the character and how someone would actually behave. It's the first time that I've seen, like, no, Bruce Wayne isn't Bond, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly,
He's always
yeah.
portrayed as either like the suave, smooth talking millionaire, or Christian Bale's take on Bruce Wayne was like, I can't let anybody know I'm Batman, so I have to make Bruce Wayne be the most fucking
Insufferable.
undesirable person that has ever walked the earth.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dude, you wouldn't let your dad's company go to total shit, and you wouldn't let yourself look like that much of a fucking asshole all the time. Like, there's a little bit of that to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But not to the extent that he's like falling asleep in board meetings and shit and just letting Lucius Fox run his company for him.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not. That's all that's left of his father. And I totally bought Ben Affleck as like both parts of the character. So if this ends up being true, I for one will be very sad about it. Now
we should talk about The Flash.
yes, so a way that they could get him out of it, they announced today that the Flash movie is going to be an adaptation of the Flashpoint comic event from DC.
Which I think that constitutes, that's a baller move.
Baller.
Like, if we're going to use the requisite terminology, that takes some fucking balls to do.
Yeah. I mean, it allows them the freedom to go ahead and reboot all the aspects of their movie universe right now that aren't doing very well.
All aspects that they want to and keep the others.
I think a good idea. I mean, for those unfamiliar, Flashpoint is basically it's a Flash comic that becomes a big crossover event for DC where Flash uses his time travel abilities to travel back in time and save his mother from dying, which is a big part of his backstory. And in doing so, creates an alternate timeline that is like total fucking shit. A big part of it is Thomas Wayne is Batman instead of Bruce Wayne. Basically, the Wayne family mugging happens and Bruce is the one who gets shot to death. Thomas and Martha survive. Thomas becomes a much more violent and deadly Batman who's totally willing to kill. And Martha goes fucking crazy and becomes the Joker. And like a bunch of other shit happened. Like all the heroes are different versions of them, basically. Like a lot of them are evil and stuff, and some of the villains are good.
Yeah.
Like it's all topsy turvy. Everything's put over on its head, and Flash is like, "Whoa, this is crazy. I gotta fix this." So he does some more time travel shenanigans. Realizes that he has to let his mom die, which is a very moving point in the character of the Flash's development.
Yeah.
And basically resets everything, but it doesn't go totally back to normal. What happened was in the comics was the New 52.
Yeah.
When DC introduced that, so it was like everyone was kind of where they should be, but it was a full universe reboot. So you had some differences, like Superman was just becoming Superman, and they kind of were able to get rid of like the 40-50 years of comic book history that had gotten too convoluted and kind of whittle everything down and start fresh. So I think it would be a good opportunity to... The only change I can think of, at least, would be... Like, it sucks because I like Ben Affleck as Batman, but if they're going to remove him, have a younger Batman so that, Batman and Superman can meet up much earlier in their lives.
Yeah.
Right? And can form the Justice League a lot earlier in their careers to make a lot more room for, stuff like Robin and the rest of the Bat family and any other conflicts that come down the road where the Justice League are needed,
Also, you have to know what you're doing with the Joker at some point, and I don't think that they do.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, get a better fucking Joker.
Well,
man.
the rumor mill is that Leto's not fully on board, which fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
But you
Bye-bye.
gotta have you have to have a plan for the Joker, and it's very clear that they don't.
Maybe they kill him in this rumored DC movie that is supposed to be happening called Harley Quinn versus the Joker. We guys think about whatever shit that is.
I think that's a beautiful fucking idea. I think that's a great fucking idea.
Pitting them against each other.
Well, and showing like once and for all why. I don't know, man. You see the memes get shared on Facebook and shit.
Yeah. The people that are like, "Oh, I wish I had a love just like Harley Quinn."
Yeah,
and
they
the Joker.
romanticize Harley Quinn and the
Abuse.
Joker when they don't realize that she's a victim of every kind of abuse under the sun, and the Joker is the fucking Joker. He is supposed to be the epitome of chaos and destruction and wanton evil.
Yeah.
He
for
does
sure.
not care about Harley Quinn.
Yeah, the character is definitely at her best when she is like free from his control, and it is not necessarily pitted against him, but is absolutely not a fan of him.
I hope they bring Poison Ivy into it.
Yeah, you think so? You want to see some? But see, man, if they do that, it is going to be so like unnecessarily sexualized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I wasn't. First of all, you're right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
There's no way they give us like a believable moving romance between those two characters.
Well, I wasn't even...
Look at how sexy our outfits are. Look at us rub up against each other. How fucking much can we push this required PG-13 rating?
I think
Well,
I think
mean,
Jessica
but-
Jones season 2 had the best depiction of like a female best friendship that I've seen in terms of like a superhero or
Oh,
a
well, they don't
conflict
become
type
best
of
friends.
thing.
They become like lovers.
I know, but what I'm saying is you could do that and just have them. I don't want to make too many assumptions, but you could do that. You could do that without over sexualizing it, and you could do that.
You could
Jesus.
We
I don't-
could.
I don't
know.
Let us write this movie.
You could
I don't know
downplay
if they
that.
could.
You could downplay that and just build up the fact that here's a representation of something that's healthy versus something that's not. And in the meantime, we get to see Harley Quinn kick ass and Poison Ivy hopefully
I
kick
don't know
ass.
if their relationship is exactly healthy though. Like they're all fucking serial killers. Poison Ivy wants to destroy all humans that aren't plants. I mean, I'm just
All humans.
So
that
all
aren't-
humans.
All right. Well, in any
well,
case,
she's arguably human, but she's
but
also a plant.
there are parts of the comics where they are just like living together and living life and like out of that whole rat race of
Yeah, and she's probably
destroying all
still
humans who
occasionally
aren't
feeding
plants.
people to her like fucking feed me Seymour Venus flytraps, man. I mean, I'm just saying. I get where
You don't
where
like Poison Ivy, do you?
not a whole lot. I think she's kind of a goofy character. I get where you're coming from, but I also don't want people to be like, "Oh, I just want a relationship like Harley and Poison Ivy."
Yeah, that's true.
And it's
That's
like, no,
true.
how about you spread memes where it's like you want a relationship between two real, normal humans that don't serial kill people and that haven't spent at least half of their lives in an asylum.
I want a relationship like myself and my current respectful significant other who has an understanding of boundaries in space.
And doesn't want to try to turn people into plants.
I don't know. That's kind of hot.
You just gotta wear wax lips, Jeff.
Now,
The
We
bat
also-
lips.
Fox announced that they're not going to do any more Aliens movies. Good job, Fox.
Good.
Am I
Thank
right?
you. Please. Thank you.
They've all been terrible
Bye.
except for the very first two. So I don't even know if anything else needs to be said about that.
No, nothing else needs to be
Congrats.
said about that.
Just a
Congratulations.
round of applause, Fox. You made a good decision. We're so proud of you.
Great job.
And other good decisions, Iron Fist Season 2 is going to have a different showrunner than the first season. That's a good thing, right? Like, that first season wasn't great.
That first season was not great.
I don't think it was bad, but yeah. It
You know
could
what I
have been
think?
a whole hell of a lot better.
I'm hesitant to say it was bad too, but deep down, I know that it was bad.
I
It wasn't
really-
just not great, it was bad. But
I
like,
know.
But I like all the other Netflix shows so much, and I
Right.
like Marvel so much, that I'm like, well, let me defend it a little bit. But it's like,
I see what you did there.
no, it's shit. It was not
No,
good at all. There was the only thing I liked about it was Meacham, dude. Old what, Edward Meacham? Is that his first name? Can't remember now.
I don't
The
know.
older brother, Meacham.
The older brother Meacham was what you liked?
I thought he was the best character in the show. Yeah, he had the most growth and the most complexity,
That's true.
and the
I
actor
liked the
was
actor.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Not old zombie dad Meacham. He fucking sucked. But
I kind of liked Zombie Dad Meacham.
I didn't buy him as the final villain. Just
I
I'm
thought-
gonna go
yeah.
against Iron Fist on a roof, me with my gun. It
Yeah,
was- oh
I did
God,
think
it
that was
so
bullshit.
bad, so bad.
I don't know. I really wanted to like it though, so I think
Oh,
I
I did
did
too.
like it. But I am glad that they're maybe taking a different direction with it.
Yeah, I think a new showrunner breathes a new life into it. Maybe show us Kunlun, and like
Yeah.
show us a dragon or two,
Yeah.
some mystical creatures. Like let Danny punch a dragon. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah. Why the fuck
he
didn't they
punches-
show that?
He punches giant mystical beasts.
Why didn't they show us something like that?
Because they either didn't have the funding or the confidence. I think it was a mixture of both. I
I'm
think
trying
that
to
they were
figure out if
afraid.
I like Finn Jones or not.
The actor?
Yeah.
No, he's kind of a shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he was
But
that
but
bad.
maybe that wasn't his fault. Maybe a new showrunner and some other directors and stuff can bring a better performance out of him.
Yeah.
He was just like his motivation wasn't always really clear, and it just seemed like he was just kind of there.
I think it was just
Exactly.
due to like bad writing though.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm certainly hoping for the best. Also, Misty Knight is going to be in season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she was one of the best parts of Luke Cage.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a big part of obviously her and Danny Rand form a relationship together. And we'll get to see maybe the actual Daughters of the Dragon with Misty Knight teaming up with old ninja lady. I can't think of her name.
Colleen?
Yeah, that's
Oh
it.
yeah,
Couldn't
Colleen.
think of it.
I really loved her though.
Yeah, Colleen and Misty Knight together are the Daughters of the Dragon. Maybe we'll even see Misty Knight lose her arm and get a dope ass robot arm. Probably not, but I would like to.
Yeah,
Does that happen?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Now, basically, the last thing aside from the official trailers to come out from Comic-Con is some news about the Krypton television series, which I don't know. So basically,
You can't.
what was
I'm
it?
over here with my head in my hand.
Yeah, they said that it's not going to be set entirely in the past, so to speak. That basically the plot is that who was it? Adam Strange.
Adam Strange and Hawkwoman.
Adam Strange and Hawkwoman are sent through time and space to Krypton before its destruction in order to ensure the protection of the House of El.
Are they Kryptonians?
No.
Okay.
They're not. But yeah, they're sent to ensure the protection of the bloodline of the House of El in order to make sure that some other villains who have also traveled through time and space to the planet Krypton are not successful in basically killing not Kal-El. What's his dad's name?
Jor-El?
Yeah. And killing Jor-El before he can send baby Superman off into space, whatever. Like,
Well, why?
well, I mean,
Why
yeah,
are they making this movie? Why do we need this
It's a television
movie?
series. It's a sci-fi.
Oh.
It's a sci-fi original television
Oh,
series.
that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can already see
But
people
still-
using. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
No,
you're
you-
good.
I-
I'm just.
I can already see people using this as an argument where it's like, okay, so it's not like Gotham. Like, there's a reason they're back there. It's like, no, we still know how all of this ends. Clearly, Hawkwoman and Adam Strange succeed. The House of El survives.
That is true, but I'm at least a little bit more excited than I was, which was not excited at all.
Well, I mean,
and now I'm like,
not gonna.
yeah, I'll watch the first episode like for free online.
Yeah.
Like, that's
At
kinda
least
where
it's
I'm at
not
with
going to
it.
be a day in the life of Kryptonians. Like, there
Yeah,
is something.
that was my thought. Was like they don't have powers on Krypton. It's just going to be a bunch of fucking scientists talking about how the world's going to end, and then the rest of them are like, no, it's not, and then it does. I mean, yeah.
And exactly half of them were wrong.
At least now we know like that there's some conflict and that it is kind of still tied to the events of, the DC universe and stuff like that.
How many episodes before they somehow send Superman or Supergirl back in time to Krypton to save their own family?
You know what? You bring that up as like the dumbest idea ever.
Are you into it?
They wouldn't have any powers.
Oh, yeah.
I would actually.
Yeah.
I would totally like to see that. Actually, yes, dude. Superman forced to operate as just a regular old guy. Yeah,
Regular ass dude.
the old Clark Kent, House of El. But yeah, that's pretty much it for everything except for all of the crazy ass trailers. So we're just gonna go through one by one all the trailers that came out. You guys should check them out if you want, watch them along with us or whatever while we talk about them. I don't know. A lot of cool stuff at Comic-Con. Comic-Con's always the best.
It really is.
No, what are you doing now?
Let's go on.
Okay.
Trailers. We got trailers.
You wanted them. We got them. Comic-Con left us with a dump truck full of trailers. They just unloaded it on us.
They just dumped all over us.
So in no particular order, we're going to go over what we thought of all these dope-ass trailers, and you should check all of them out, except for, I don't know, there's like maybe one that you don't really need to check out.
And we'll tell you which.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll tell you.
Stranger Things 2.
Man, these fuckers know how to make a show.
God.
Oh, my God.
That trailer looks so hot shit.
Oh, my. And the way that they use that weird synth version of Thriller that just fucking built and built.
The fucking Vincent Price fucking voiceover when that kicked in, I was like, oh, Vincent Price.
Now, I'll tell you. I love doing things on Halloween. Halloween's my favorite, but fuck, I'm not doing anything this year. Because
So-
I'm going to be fucking binging Stranger Things too.
Damn straight. So there was a lot of cool stuff in this trailer. The number one thing that I want to talk about, though, is what the fuck was going on with the Ghostbusters ghost trap.
Yeah.
Clearly not a real Ghostbusters ghost trap. It's a part of their Halloween costume, but somehow something gets trapped in it.
Huh?
Right? That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
appeared to
That's
be the
what,
case.
yeah, that's what we... I wonder if 11 at that point is like fucking with shit from the Upside Down. If she hasn't busted out quite yet.
Okay, so it's like trapped in the Upside Down's version of their Ghostbusters.
Maybe
thing,
maybe 11's trying to let them know that she's still there.
That's true. That could be it.
Yeah. I think that there's maybe some sort of like the reality bending shit where like the things that they have based on fictional things are gaining the properties of those things, if that makes sense.
Explain
Okay.
it a little bit more for
Yeah.
me.
Right. So
Agreed.
like, you know how she made the Millennium Falcon fly around?
Yeah.
And it was a toy Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
So like somehow now like say that toy Millennium Falcon can actually fly around like the
Oh,
Millennium Falcon.
okay.
Right?
Instead of her like instead of it being situational and she has to be responsible for it every time, perhaps that there's a lingering effect.
Maybe, or like, I mean, maybe it is something she's doing, or maybe it has nothing to do with 11. Maybe it's some other part of the Upside Down. I mean, there's so much that we don't know about the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Right. That like, I mean, who knows what's going on there?
And
But
poor Will.
yeah,
Oh
I was
my
thinking
God.
it'll be cool to get to know Will because we didn't really.
Yeah.
In
Right.
the first season, right?
Yeah.
Like, and what if we don't like him? What if he's like, ugh. Like, why did they have to find you? Like, now there's this new kid.
Are you kidding me?
I'm just
You're
saying.
fucking awful.
I'm just saying, worst case scenario, what if that actor isn't as good as all the other actors? And we're like, who is this new guy hanging out with these kids that we love so much?
Yeah.
I think
Bringing
you'll
the
be
fucking
fine.
party down with your puking up slugs. And
Quit puking up slugs. We're trying to meet girls.
we're trying to fucking play Dragon's Lair, Will. Will you just stop puking up
Oh my
slugs?
God! Somebody take him outside.
So what's up with that crazy monster, dude?
That looked Lovecraftian.
Yeah, dude.
I hope. You know, I spoke earlier about how in a lot of Lovecraft stories, it's not about fighting the horror. Mm-hmm. It's about finding a way to contain it or just straight up running away from it. I hope that that's what we get. Here, like I hope that because it was so gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that they can tackle that thing.
No, not at all.
In a physical sense, at least.
11 had to expend God knows what kinds of power or because we don't even really know where that comes from at this point. And disappeared into the Upside Down just to get rid of the Demogorgon, which is a large human-sized monster.
Right. Yeah, I know. I am so fucking hyped for this. Like, obviously, the first season of Stranger Things is probably the best thing that Netflix has ever put out.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and like, bring it on, man. The shots of like all of them, all armed up with guns, like the camera pans around them, like it does in like the first Avengers, and they're just all kitted out with guns and shotguns and shit. Like, I do hope we get a little bit of a,
like a hill we choose to die on kind of thing.
yeah. Well, I was thinking like a Splatfest to an extent because the first season paid homage to so many different '80s things, and I feel like the one thing that we didn't get was like a good, like in The Evil Dead when Ash like has the shotgun and the fucking chainsaw hand and is like finally just whooping some ass, right?
Yeah.
So I hope there's a moment where maybe there's some sort of like lesser Demogorgon, like a bunch of them that come out and everybody's
And they just wreck them.
yeah, dude. Like they figure it out and they're able to just fucking annihilate them. That I don't know, man. It's the best. I can't wait
so
for it.
fucking excited for it.
Now, here's the one you guys don't need to watch. There was a new trailer for Orville, Fox's television series. It looks so much worse than even the first trailer for it did.
Like,
When the first trailer came out, I was like, oh, that looks maybe kind of funny. I'll watch it. Right?
It just even after the first trailer, I was like, okay, I got the feeling that maybe they put all their best jokes into that trailer.
That's fair.
And that's what it definitely looks like. And it just the setting happens to be sci-fi, but I really think it's just another fucking sitcom.
Just another Seth MacFarlane fucking jerking himself off fest.
Yeah, which I think Seth MacFarlane's very talented, but I just don't like his.
Do you?
Huh?
What has he done that's good?
I think that there have been before Family Guy got incredibly repetitive and up its own ass. I think that it did a lot of cool things for animated series in general. Also, you can't deny that the dude's he's a fantastic fucking voice actor.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure he is.
Like-
Yeah.
But I don't know if people should keep giving him money to do his own stuff front to back, you know?
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
needs somebody. He needs a babysitter. I think.
Yeah, looks like trash.
Yeah. Don't watch it.
Now we got a
Watch
trailer.
Galaxy Quest instead, because that's what it's trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's better.
We got a new trailer for the Justice League. Overall, I mean, I'm more pumped for it than I was after the first trailer.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
another good trailer.
They're giving us a lot of Wonder Woman and a lot of Aquaman. It seems
Yeah.
to be where their chips are getting pushed.
I'm still a little bit skeptical, but I definitely still will go watch it.
Just because of Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
I think Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa are going to carry that movie.
Aquaman.
I mean, I think Ben Affleck's going to do a really
Excuse
good job,
me,
too.
I in my mind, Ben Affleck's already not in the universe.
Like, already
anymore.
checked out?
Yeah, I'm so bummed about it.
No, for sure. There's some really interesting things. Like, I liked that in Steppenwolf's little... I just can't say it. I know.
No, DC.
I can't say the name. In Steppenwolf's little voiceover, though, and he's, where he's like, this planet has no protectors,
Yeah.
no lanterns, and no Kryptonian. I love that they fucking acknowledge the Green Lantern, even though he hasn't been introduced in this universe yet.
Yeah.
That, like, Steppenwolf knows what the Lantern Corps is, and that he's like, oh, I wouldn't fucking go there if there was a Lantern Corps. Hell no.
Yeah, no thank you.
Nah, he said lanterns. He was referring to Dexstar. We all know.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's a part
I
of the-
know.
Yeah,
I know.
That's a part of the Lantern Corps. But like, that's what I liked most about Batman versus Superman, and I'm totally down with more of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like shoving references and stuff in your face, and if you don't get it, well, that fucking sucks. You don't get it. But
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
I've wanted more of that. I still gush about Scott Pilgrim for doing that, where nothing's explained.
Yeah.
Why would you need anything explained to you? This is just happening in front of your face. Accept it.
Yeah.
But obviously with the comics universe, it's like a contextual thing. But again, it's okay to be outside of that sphere of influence, or risk that your movie is going to reach some people who don't get that line.
Right.
You keep that line in there for the people who are coming there specifically for it.
Right.
I think the worst part about the trailer by far is Cyborg.
Yeah.
God, he looks-
Yeah, who
I
cares?
don't.
Right? Like, he looks like shit.
Yeah, it
The
doesn't
effects
look good.
don't look good.
No, I agree.
I mean, you can tell that it's just that one part of his face that's there, and the rest is all CG.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a lot of times his face is CG.
Yeah. And, like, the only line he gets in the trailer, which I don't think he got a line at all in the previous trailer.
No, it was
No,
the whole
he
thing. I
didn't.
didn't think you were real to Batman.
Oh, yeah,
And it was just a setup for Batman's badass line.
yeah. Yeah. He has just the line in the trailer where he's like, "Don't worry, Alfred, I got this," as he is jacking into the whatever bat thing that is. Which is cool. I like that it's shown his powers that he can, like,
Yeah.
fucking interface with any sort of electronic. Is the kitty fucking up the blinds?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. I'm trying to get its attention, but the other kitty is as well.
Oh, man.
Both kitties.
Guys, we got a new cat this weekend, and now we have 2 cats. That's twice as much shit running around through the blinds
2
and
cats.
running through the microphones. as we're trying to- Oh Lord! But no, I mean, the only version of Cyborg that I think anybody cares about is the Teen Titans animated Cyborg.
Yeah.
And this is clearly not who we're getting. It seemed like his delivery on that line is so deadpan that it seems, and his face is so non-emotive that it seems like they're trying to go like, well, he's like a robot, so he looks and acts like a robot. Whereas in Teen Titans, Cyborg is fucking dope.
Yeah, he's one of the more, and excuse the pun, animated characters.
Yeah, like him and
In the
Beast.
series.
Yeah, it's like him and Beast Boy are the only ones that aren't fucking
Brooding.
Yeah, don't give a shit about their dark past or anything. Like, his catchphrase is just yelling "booyah" as they go into battle and stuff. Like, I don't know why we didn't get something similar to that version.
Because they can't be like, they've got to be so serious. And
I mean, the
don't-
Flash is clearly not serious.
Right,
I really
but
like the Flash parts
the
of this
rest
too.
of it is
Maybe they
just
think
like,
there's only room for one comic, relief.
But it
yeah.
has to be Flash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was gonna be anyone, it would be Flash. But there can
Yes.
be take a leaf out of Joss's book. Give everyone some funny lines.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we will get more of that when the movie comes out, since Joss did have a hand in it. You know, who knows where this trailer was along
Yeah.
prior to Joss stepping in, and how much of his scenes have made it into it. But yeah, I'm definitely pumped for it, to be honest. I still don't know why it's Steppenwolf and not Darkseid. So I mean, apparently Darkseid's coming in a later movie, and I don't know if I don't know. I'm worried that we may not ever get that.
I know
that
that's
other
what
movie.
I'm thinking
You know
too.
what I
Is
mean?
that like
yeah, whatever. We also got a trailer for a Ready Player One. Holy fuck! It looks like the best goddamn thing to me.
it looks so good,
It
and you're
does
right.
look
That
really
race
good.
isn't specifically in the book, but who cares?
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
looks like it's perfect. As a book reader, when we did our book podcast, it was in my top 5. That completely fits. There are so many places in the storyline where that could fit, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I have no idea what the hell's happening. I haven't read the book,
Me
but I
either.
love every minute of it.
It
Like
looks
the
really
Iron
good.
Giant, anything to get more Iron Giant, right?
Right, yeah.
Is the Iron Giant in Dark Tower?
No.
Oh, damn.
Okay, well,
all right.
still not going to read that or watch that.
man.
But I'm just saying, if they added him,
That would give you a reason.
I might go see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Fucking Freddy Krueger. Did you notice Freddy Krueger?
I noticed
getting
that.
shot to death.
Did you
like-
notice Duke Nukem?
No, I didn't see Duke Nukem.
Duke
I didn't notice
Nukem's
it.
in there, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, get excited because in the book, part of the big climactic final thing, you see Voltron.
Oh, what?
You see a giant version of Ultraman
Oh, God.
fighting Mechagodzilla.
Okay.
And I can't believe all of the licensing issues that they apparently didn't have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who knows what they can and can't put in? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Voltron, unfortunately, maybe changed to Iron Giant. Who knows? But as long as they can get some stuff of the stuff they got, I'm super fucking pumped with it.
Yeah.
The DeLorean, when the DeLorean is,
Yeah, I saw
they
that,
go off
yeah.
the ramp and it kicks the tires down, and it's from Back to the Future 2 where it's flying.
Yep.
Oh my god! And some looked like a girl riding on Kaneda's bike from Akira.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all of the characters who in the books are ugly, ugly, ugly nerds are now attractive, attractive, attractive nerds. But
Well, of course
That'll happen.
They have to be.
Well,
Is
one of the main-
protagonist
one of the
supposed to be
main-
real ugly.
one of the main plot points is that the like love interest of the hero, who is also one of the heroes,
Yeah.
has like a really fucked up face, like from some sort of a medical condition or an accident of some kind.
Oh, okay.
And that's like a plot device. I don't know if they'll be following that or not.
I gotcha. Weird, but yeah, man. I mean, that looks just like that looks like a movie that after I watch it, I'm gonna want to like get a home movie copy of it. You know, a home movie. I'm gonna want to get it
What
on.
the
What in
hell
the
did
world
you just say?
Is that
know.
epilepsy? Like,
For some reason, I was thinking like VHS days. Dude, I don't know. I'm so old. Now available on home movies.
I'm gonna get myself a laser disc of this bitch.
No, but you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get a copy of it to watch at home, like just to try to like point out more shit that they
Yeah.
include in there that looks familiar. So yes.
It really seems like they gave it to the right people.
I think it was March 30th that it comes out.
I'm not sure the
I
release
think.
date.
Whatever. When it comes out, we'll be going and seeing it for sure. Now we also got a trailer for The Defenders. I feel like the first really good trailer
Yeah,
for The Defenders, where we really get to
that
see what's
first one
going
was
on.
a bit of fan service and not much else.
I'm fucking excited.
Yeah, dude, there's so much cool shit. The fucking joke about the horns. Nice ears.
Yeah,
They're horns.
I want them to give each other shit the whole time.
I mean, dude, it looks like they definitely will be, and I'm super pumped about it. When these Daredevil's like, we can't fight these people, not even with whatever it is you can do with your hand. It's my chi. And they all roll their eyes. And like, no, it isn't.
You're a fucking stupid kid. Oh, little rich boy thinks he's magic.
But like, yeah, I just cannot wait for it. It is. I feel like they're doing a good job of exactly what it's supposed to be, which is obviously like the Netflix version of the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
But I feel the same way about it coming out soon as I did about the Avengers coming out soon. You know what I mean? Like that it's a culmination of these other series that I've watched.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man.
And
I'm stoked.
I'm
as
still
fuck.
sold on it. And it looks like I talked earlier about how I don't know if I'm sold on Finn Jones or not.
yeah.
But it looks like he's going to do a bit better in an
I hope so.
ensemble as opposed to his own thing.
If we don't get some really good Iron Fist action, which we didn't get in Iron Fist, and the Defenders,
Yeah.
then it's going to be like, what is the point of this fucking character?
Yeah.
If you're not going to let us have that. I still go back to the scene in Iron Fist whenever I can't remember. I mean, I hated that show so much, so I can't remember anybody's name. The evil ninja guy that was good, that was bad, shows him that video of the old black and white Iron Fist whooping ass, right?
And that was like the only representation.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was like,
I
well,
remember
I
that.
want to watch this show. Like, the show I'm watching right now fucking sucks. Let me see this guy who has 2 Iron Fists and looks like Iron Fist, who clearly knows how to be Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I want, man. I get that, like, there's something about learning your powers and stuff like that, but come
Yeah,
on, dude. Let's fucking get there.
I
quick.
know some people who really loved that show, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And then we also got a trailer for Lego Ninjago, which none of us have ever seen a Lego movie, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And everybody always says they're really good.
And I don't doubt that.
And we're all like, sure.
Yeah, like
I have confidence in it. I believe it. I just haven't had a reason to seek it out, you know?
That's true.
But like the original Lego movie had a lot of references to, just in the trailers, again I haven't seen it, but in the trailers a lot of references to like older Lego sets that were Lego sets that I played with growing up, right?
Yes.
And like, so part of my reason not watching it was I just felt like it was like, I don't know if you're just tugging on that nostalgia. I don't know, it may not be actually that good.
Yeah.
And then Lego Batman was obviously Batman, which I like a lot, and I kind of felt similarly about. But this one is Lego Ninjago, which is way past my Lego playing days. You know, so it's not a Lego set that I'm familiar
You're
with at
not
all.
well versed.
Right. And the trailer still left me wanting to see it. So I think I'm definitely going to go back and watch all the Lego movies now. And if they're both good, I'll go see this one as well.
A Lego Super Sentai fucking... I'm having trouble describing what I watched.
Yeah, I mean, Super Sentai totally hits the nail. I mean, it's like Power Rangers the movie when they're all ninjas.
Yeah.
After they lose their powers or whatever. It totally seems like that. I mean, I think that is what the Ninjago thing is all about. But it looks fucking hilarious, dude. And Dave Franco,
Love Dave Franco.
totally underrated actor in my opinion. Dude is so much funnier than his older brother. It's James Franco's younger brother.
He's fucking
Yeah.
fantastic.
What if Doc Ock's throwing the legs at you? If you've never seen, what is that website called?
I think is it a Funny or Die?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there's a series of Funny or Die videos with Dave and James Franco, where James is teaching Dave acting lessons.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Fucking look
Oh,
those
man.
videos up, guys. They're the funniest goddamn things. So yeah, Lego Ninjago. I'm totally down to go see it if the other Lego movies end up being good.
There's
but-
Jackie Chan in it, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Jackie Chan.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, yes.
Which
Dude, I fucking love Jackie Chan.
what is the name of that movie? It wasn't this week. It was like a few weeks ago. But that Jackie Chan movie,
The Foreigner.
The Foreigner.
Oh, yeah.
Holy fuck! I can't wait to see that. He looks like such a terrifying badass in that
Yes,
movie.
it looks like the movie he's been wanting to make for a long time.
yeah, for sure. Ever since he got old, at least.
Ha!
Now we also got a
He's
trailer.
still young. Fuck off.
Well, young at heart, and that's what counts. I think he'll always be young at heart. He seems like that kind of guy.
He's so awesome and so funny and so precious. Just want to squeeze his little cheeks.
And he's a source for, supportive reform within China.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. I didn't know he was politically active. So we also got a new trailer for Marvel's Inhumans. That's another one you don't need to watch
cares?
it.
Yeah, it's actually, scratch that. It's 2 trailers.
Yeah, Jesus fucking
Like,
Christ.
this one
it's gonna be
looked
their
worse
first big fucking flop.
than
Oh,
the
it
first
looks so
one, and the first
bad.
one was just not good looking. Like, what the fuck?
You guys remember Witchblade? Yeah, I didn't think so. That's what we're going to be saying about Inhumans in a couple years.
Yeah, I really, really think it's going to be their first major flop. I mean, some people dig Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, it's not...
Ugh.
I've watched it. I enjoy it well enough, but I can't even see myself enjoying this anywhere near as much.
No, not at all.
It looks like absolute dog shit, in my opinion. Hot take. Inhumans. Fucking
Bad.
stupid.
Dumb.
Waste of my time.
Should have been a movie.
Yeah,
It
It
shouldn't
would have
have
gotten
been
the care it
made.
I
deserved.
wouldn't have gone and seen it.
Well, at least it would have gotten the care that it deserved.
That's fair. Maybe a higher budget, better writers and shit like that could have saved it.
A premise like Inhumans, and you're gonna give it a network television budget, not even put it on Netflix.
Yeah. But speaking of Netflix, I think the most surprising trailer to come out of Comic-Con is the Netflix original movie starring Will Smith called Bright. So
Holy shit, guys.
I have probably said it plenty of times on the podcast. I fucking hate fantasy shit. I fucking hate elves and orcs and magic and shit like that usually bothers me.
He really does. He talks about it hurts my feelings every time. I don't like fantasy either.
I hate Game of Thrones. I hate Lord of the fucking Rings. It just doesn't do it for me. All right? But this movie,
Looks so fucking good.
yeah,
Oh my god.
bringing those fantasy tropes into a modern day setting, and it appears to some extent like using it as an allegory for like modern day race issues with police departments. It looks funny, but it looks like it's not like shoving shit down our throats trying to be funny. It also looks
Right.
incredibly dramatic. Like I'm really, 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 really blown away by
Pause
how
this,
much
go watch it right now.
by how much I want to go and see this movie or sit
Yeah.
at home and watch this movie as soon as it comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
If you would have described this to me, I would have told you to fuck off. There's no way. That sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard in my entire life.
Same. But I mean, Will Smith.
Yeah.
I would have at least,
Yeah.
entertained the thought of maybe watching it, but probably not.
Do you think it can capture the similar magic to Men in Black? It seems somewhat similar to that.
Yeah, I think it can for a bit of a more modernized audience.
Netflix does good things.
Yeah, for the most part.
So, I'm excited.
I'm excited for it. I mean, anything that can be similar to Men in Black. I think that the original Men in Black is probably one of the best fucking movies ever made. Like, do you agree with that sentiment, Spencer?
I love fucking Men in Black. It's
Yes.
perfect.
So good.
It is a perfect fucking movie for sure. So, fantasy Men in Black, totally down. Check it out. Bright, coming at you.
Coming at you hot.
Guys,
I don't know.
this has been it for Geekout Freakout this week, Comic-Con special. Be sure to check back next week. We'll have another podcast. Oh, hey kitty.
And possibly another cat.
No more cats. 2 is the limit on cats for us. Thank you very much.
I don't know about that.
As always,
see.
be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Bing that bell.
Smash that fucking like button.
Smash the fuck out of that like button. Bing the fuck out of that fucking bell. Leave us a comment. Tell us that we're wrong. Tell us how much you think Inhumans looks good, and I will fight you.
And I will personally tear your entire life down word by word.
No, I won't, man. I mean, people can have other opinions, I guess.
No,
even
me.
though-
I was
False.
me. I'm the guy.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. Peace out.